Terrific, terrific Tuesday, everybody. We are back. This man, Sammy the Man McIntyre, with Moving the Chains podcast. We are rocking. We are rolling today. I'm feeling just as good as New England Patriots are feeling because that was an absolute beatdown last night in Foxborough, under the lights. Great scene. Patriots jersey looking crispy. It was just fantastic. I want to hop into that game. I just got done before I hopped on here. Baker, Moneymaker, Mayfield, balling, staying atop the NFC South. They're keeping it tight with Carolina. Who would have thought that before the year started? And I'm going to touch on Lane Kiffin, as I call him, leaving Lane Kiffin, because that's what his nickname is. He keeps bouncing around. You know, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. It's kind of true. So I want to hop into that. But I want to start with last night. So, New York Giants went to New England last night. It was a rematch of Super Bowls in the past. It was the 07 Super Bowl and then 2011, where the New York Giants, they went unbeaten against them. And I'm watching last night, and Jackson Dart, who I like, and I really like him a lot. Giants have some pieces I like. But, man, I can't unsee what I saw last night with Jackson Dart. Here's the thing, dude. Get down. You're not trying. Stop being a hero. You have the keys to the kingdom in New York City. We're New York City. And you got the keys to the kingdom, and you keep running the car under the tree. What are you doing? And then after the game, you say, I'm not changing my play style. You're just stubborn. And listen, some things are cool. I heard Coward say this today. At 19 years old, it's cool to do beer bongs and do crazy stuff. I get it. But right now, that's not time to do that. And here's the thing about last night, when he did that. When he got smacked out of bounds. And that was a legal play. Stop telling me it wasn't. He was still in the bounds of play. You could smack that quarterback and hit him. You can. But I kept going back to this when I heard him last night say, oh, my game's my game. You got to evolve and you got to adapt, dude. It's what it is. Bill Belichick didn't do it. Pete Carroll's not doing it. These guys that don't evolve and adapt, it ends poorly. And the guys that do, goes pretty well. Like the curious thing. People that are more curious, like me, why are people petty? Why am I, it's why I go to therapy. I'm watching last night, and Jackson Dart's his own worst enemy. Because when I watch the Gruden thing, and I'm a big fan of John Gruden, you guys know I am. I love repping Chucky. Want to play. I love it. One of my favorite tattoos, by the way. Just gotta flex it a little bit. Feeling nicey today. And I'm watching Jackson Dart on the Gruden camp. And Gruden said this perfectly to him. He loves everything about him. I was just talking to my dad from Mark Chapius. Everything about him. I love the gamer he is, the toughness, played in the SEC, under the lights. He gets it. It's the SEC, to me, it's the closest thing to the NFL in terms of, big lights under the thing that you can have. And it is. But I'm watching last night, and it just goes back to what he said. Evel Knievel is his name. And it will remain to be his name because he can't get out of his own way. Get down, dude. This is not the Super Bowl. It's one thing if it was, you're stretching for the first down, fighting for your team and all this. You're not, dude. You're 2-10. You got nothing to lose. You're done. Your season's shot. You're eliminated from playoffs. Who cares? And this organization, I got to be honest, I thought about this last night. You know what it's starting to remind me of? Pittsburgh Steelers. I said it maybe last year a couple times. They really are. You take out Eli Manning, Big Ben. They've been garbage. Pittsburgh's been a little bit better than I would say in the long. Even then, Pittsburgh, Giants were going to playoff games with Kerry Collins. Excuse me. And they went to the Super Bowl, obviously, in 2000. So the Giants and Steelers are kind of in the same boat. Old historic franchises, big brands. Pittsburgh's bigger than the Giants, but it's New York for crying out loud. So it's going to be a big brand. And I'm watching last night. Giants are just a mess. I'm reading this record. I saw NFL Memes today posted this. They're 43-104-1 since Odell Beckham's picture was taken for that playoff game in Green Bay. That's elite right there. That's garbage. That's not good. That is not good enough. So, once again, Giants feel like running and repeat again. Wheel of dysfunction. And the difference, I feel like, with Cleveland and the Giants, I'm tying Cleveland to this because I feel like they're the same. I like the coach. I like Stefanski, although he gets a pass for, I don't know what it is. Probably because he's intellectual and all of that blah, 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 academia nonsense, whatever. But I keep going back to with the Giants. Had Jameis Winston started instead of Russell Wilson, Brian Daboll still be coaching right now. He really would. It's a shame that he didn't keep his job. Because I like Brian Daboll. I know it ended poorly in New York, and I got all that, and he's gruff, and all that. I got it. But not everybody's for everybody. I'm not for everybody. My dad is, and my dad's friends aren't. So, it just, to me, when I look at the Giants, now this offseason's key. Because I think you're going to fire the GM and start over. And what coach are you going to bring in? For Mike Tomlin? I don't know. Please don't. Stop doing retreads. I know, it gives him credibility. I got all that. Mike Tomlin, since 2010, had 3 playoff wins. That's not good enough. You know who I would hire? Mike McCarthy. I'm being honest. I would hire him. Mike McCarthy's worked with every kind of quarterback, from Aaron Rodgers' prickly ass to everybody. So go get him. And go get him. What is the risk? Mike McCarthy, I guarantee you, if he comes to New York tomorrow, gets them to 10 wins next year. Guarantee it. And he had to put up with Jerry, which is worse ownership. Like, worse chaotic crap than the Giants. I mean, listen, the Giants, like, the owner's just kind of sitting there. You know, the Giants, the Cowboys got Jerry and his whole circus. Giants don't. So I look at the Giants, and there's pieces I like. I like Neighbors. I was talking to a Giants fan tonight. They can go add Carnell Tate and with Scatterboo and Dart, and Andrew Thomas, who's a solid left tackle. There's a lot of components I like with the Giants. Now, what you got to do in the offseason, if I'm the Giants, is get this defense to be dominant. Because before the year, I'm like, whoa, this front four reminds me of those Giant teams, with not as good, but those Giant teams that I look and go, damn, oh, okay, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and all these guys. And this year, it just doesn't feel right. Now, Brian Burns has been fantastic. He's a really good player. I like him. I liked him in Carolina. And Dexter Lawrence, he's been MIA. I don't know if the money got to his head. I don't know. But he's not his 2024 self. And then Abdul Carter, I got to say this. He's a bust to me. And he was a wild card coming out of college. He's just not good. And the audacity this guy had, this cracks me up with this generation of people, and I'm part of it, is that he had the audacity to say, I want Lawrence Taylor's number. Excuse me? Come again? I mean, Lawrence Taylor's probably the greatest defensive player of all time. Get some sacks first, and then we can talk. Okay? And then he asked Phil Simms for his number. No, dude. We're not playing that game. So, I just, to me, when I heard that, and I'm hearing about he's missing team meetings. I heard he was watching some porn. I don't know what it is. Allegedly. But I'm watching the Giants, and it's just a shame. Like, this franchise deserves better. I mean, they're just terrible. And I'm watching, I see moments where I'm like, okay. And I thought Mike Kafka could get a chance, maybe become the head coach. Who knows? But after last night and some of the stuff that's been going on, I listened a little bit at WFAN in New York today, sports radio. Still a big deal in New York and Philadelphia and these big cities like Chicago. I'm watching it, and it just feels like the Giants are kind of stuck. And I like Jackson Dart, but damn, dude, you better wake up and stop being dumb. Because it's bad in New York right now. But in Boston, because I'm shipping up to Boston, yeah, they are killing it right now. And man, what a difference a year makes, right? A year ago, the Bears and Patriots sucked. They were 4-13 and trash and blowing at games. I mean, the Bears were on a 10-game losing streak. The Patriots were awful, terrible watch. No juice in the stadium. Dead. I look up. Drake May doesn't miss. He's balling. You got Mike Vrabel packing a dip in, and he's badass. He's a tough guy. Love his energy. I heard the word last night. Mike Reese, who covers Patriots on ESPN.com. Great article, by the way. If you guys check it out, read it. I read bits of it. And he said galvanize. And that's the word I think that the Patriots needed. They need a guy to galvanize. And Carlton Davis, who was with Detroit, who Dan Campbell's kind of in that Mike Vrabel mold. Hell, he could be a Harbaugh brother for crying out loud. I'm watching him say the same thing. It trickles down. the accountability, galvanize people. And that, to me, is so powerful. And he's got some elements of Belichick. Now, I think he's a little more, he's old school, but he's got that new school feel. And I'm watching Drake May last night. This is why you pick him. He's a franchise quarterback. He's doing this without his Will Campbell last night, my personal favorite player on their team. Adam Black, I'm talking to you, big guy, biggest Patriot fan I know. And Cam Robb and a couple other people. And I'm watching this Patriot team. They've beaten Tampa, in Tampa. That's not that's a hard place to play. You beat the Bills in Buffalo on Sunday night. Standalone game, prime time. And I know your schedule's been fourth place, and I get it, but you've beaten solid teams this year. And you've pretty much blown the doors off some of them. Tampa wasn't as close as the score indicated. And Buffalo, you just toyed with them and you kicked their ass. So, I'm impressed with New England. They're balling right now. They're kicking ass, taking names. I'm all for it. And Mike Vrabel, I can't say enough about him. But here's the thing, and I'm going to keep repeating this to Buffalo fans. You had your shot and you blew it. New England's only getting better. Only getting better from this point forward. I'm telling you right now. They're going to have a full offseason, more money in the bank to go in the free agency. Don't need a lot of stuff to me when I watch. Run game's hit and miss. Could be a little better. Offensive line's still going to get better. No doubt. Will Campbell's going to have a full season. This team is built to last. I really believe that to my core. AFC, watch out. Because you had your shot to pick on New England and hit the pinata and kick them when they're down. But right now, watching last night, watch out. New England's coming. They are elite. They have every component to win a Super Bowl down the road. Watch out, because they're coming. I wanted to touch on my bad guy, Baker Mayfield, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting that gutty win at home against Arizona. So my take on that game was this. Arizona, say bye-bye to Kyler. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, mental midget. Bye-bye, Mayor Munchkinland. It's time to go. Jacoby Brissett, I don't know what you do with Arizona. You make him the starter? I don't know. I would. I've watched most of Cardinal games this year. They're in games, man. This team, now again, the job is an attractive job. Probably not, because you got cheap ownership and the Bidwells and all that nonsense. But I look at this from a talent standpoint. I look up, Marvin Harrison's making plays. Trey McBride, that Bam Knight guy was making plays yesterday. Their offensive line's okay, not great. Their defense flies around. I mean, Tampa Bay could score in bunches at times. They kind of kept them in check. I look up and I look at Arizona and I go, it's kind of an attractive job. It's in the desert. You know, they got good corn. I like Will Johnson a lot from Michigan. So I'm looking at Arizona. They're kind of remind me of the Colts a little bit. Get a quarterback in there. I don't know. If I'm a quarterback in this draft, I'm going to advise this. Tell your agent I'm going to go to Arizona. Because to me, yes, it's in a tough division. I get that. No disputing that. But I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, everything is in place for you. You have Marvin Harrison Jr., you have Trey McBride, an emerging tight end. You've got studs everywhere on defense that fly around and hit. Buda Baker, it's this Walter Nolan guy, if he can be consistent more, instead of having that more off switch than on, as I saw at Ole Miss, then I go, okay, you got something. Josh Sweat had, double-digit sacks this year, so you have some pressure off the edge. You have a piece in Arizona that I like. But Arizona's an intriguing job. So if I'm not saying Jonathan Gannon gets fired, maybe, because maybe the new GM wants a new coach. They kind of came in at the same time, I believe. So Jonathan Gannon deserves credit. He's got this team. I know they got eliminated yesterday, but they've been in really close games all year. You know, most teams that don't win those close games for, 1 year will win a lot of those next. So that could be Arizona next year. So just keep an eye on that job. That's an intriguing job opening if it comes open. Got some momentum there. Even though the division's tough, we'll see what happens. And on the flip side, Tampa Bay. Baker, moneymaker Mayfield, making me proud yesterday. Gutted it out, 6 carries, broken shoulder and all. This guy is the definition of a gamer. And he makes me reason why I watch football. Guys like him. And he's got this pizzazz and everything about him I love. And I'm so happy he found a place in Tampa. He's fantastic for Tampa. He really fits. He's got the Ybor City, swashbuckling, Buccaneer, pirate look, and it's badass. I love it. And they've kind of stumbled lately. They needed that win more than Arizona did. I got to be honest with you, because Carolina is nipping at their heels. So you needed that win, Tampa. Let's be honest, you did. And that was a gutty, gritty win. Arizona's no slouch. I just mentioned them just a minute ago. They're a competitive football team that plays their arse off with that coach. So I am all for Tampa getting that win. Now, you still got to play Carolina a couple weeks down the road. Once at Carolina and once at Tampa. So be on the lookout for those games, because that's going to determine this division, which is shocking, because I had Carolina third, Atlanta better than what they are, but obviously Atlanta, they are what they are. But I said this yesterday to Carolina. Give credit where credit's due. Carolina's doing a phenomenal job getting the most out of Bryce Young, this team. But Tampa Bay just has that feel like an elite franchise that drafts well. They get dudes in there, high character guys, you name it. And I'm watching yesterday. I watched the highlights before I got on here. That's what it feels like with Tampa. They are just balling right now. Everything's flowing. Everything's into place. Watch out. Because if Tampa gets in the dance and they're getting some guys back, watch out. Because Tampa Bay is coming and they might hit you where you don't expect it. You get that right uppercut in the jaw, Mike Tyson style. So be on the lookout for Tampa. Great win for Baker, Moneymaker Mayfield. I'm proud of you, my guy. Keep it up. And last but not least, so I told you guys, I kind of teased you yesterday, I'm going to touch on Lane's Kiffin thing. Okay. Where do I begin with Lane Kiffin? He's got a new nickname for me. He's LLK to me. Leaving Lane Kiffin. That's what he is. And I thought it was funny when the reporter, podcast, I don't know what it was, said you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. It's kind of true. And Lane, if I was telling you this as a friend, you did this to yourself. You make it all about you. Again, money talks, shit walks. I got it. But this whole system with college football, to leave in the middle of a season, kind of a joke. Like, do the NFL. Like, wait till, April to find a job. Don't get it right away. I don't get it. But if I was Lane, I would have written it out with Ole Miss. Write it out. This is probably the best Ole Miss is ever going to have. I got it. LSU's a better job. I'll get to that in a second. But I'm watching this. I just don't get with Lane. Like, does he like this yet? Maybe he's just craves for just craziness and all this stuff. Maybe he just does. Because if I'm Lane, I'm looking at his track record. Has he learned it all? I got to be honest. Maybe he's grown up. Maybe he did the hot yoga and he got back with his ex-wife. And everybody's got cobwebs. I get it. We got issues. I got issues. Everybody does. But Lane's made it public, right? He left, the Raider thing. He gets fired with the overhead projector. I'm not going to blame that all on him. More Al Davis's fault. But he got fired. Goes to Tennessee, leaves in the middle of the night. People burn his house down. My cousins, Andrew, his wife Alicia, and my cousin Alex, they know that for experience because they went to Tennessee. Okay. Then goes to Alabama. Becomes the offense coordinator. Then he leaves. Nick Saban fires him. Rest history. Goes to FAU. There 2 years, says bye-bye, goes to Ole Miss. And then does the same thing again with Ole Miss. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And this whole idea that he's some bad guy, he is. So I just don't like this job. It's a great hire because when everything's aligned at LSU, it's a powerhouse program. And it is. It's a factory. Put guys in the league. I got all that. But that's a hornet's nest you want to hop into? I would not. When the governor comes out and says, well, Donald Trump do a better job than this guy. No. I wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. But be that as it may, money talks, shit walks. So that's all I got on here tonight for you guys. I appreciate the following. Hope you guys are doing well. Terrific Tuesday. Get prepared for a lot of college football this weekend. We've got championship games going on. Hope you guys stay tuned. More content. Adios. Godspeed.